So as all of you know, if there's anything that happens during class, you can't hear me, you don't understand, what you need some sort of an option for a pose that we come into because whatever we're doing is not working for your body, feel free to come on. I'll just edit that part out of the video. It's not a big deal. It's your class first, video second. Listen to your body, only do what's comfortable for you. And if we come into something that doesn't feel good, please come out, find a resting pose, and then join us again whenever you're ready. Good morning, Kelsey. All right, we're going to start. So we are going to start. I'm going to give you options because I know not everyone's comfortable starting on their backs. So either a seated butterfly, which is actually kind of funny that we drew the butterfly today, or a reclined butterfly. So our reclined butterfly is, we just come onto our back. If you need, you can find some props, blocks or blankets or whatever to come underneath your legs if you need them. So we bring the soles of the feet together and the knees apart. And then if you have props and you wish to use them, you can place them either under the thigh or under the knees. Okay, and then arms come wherever's comfortable for you. So you can also do the seated if you prefer not to be lying down. Totally fine. We're going to do a bit of a meditation here in this pose. So seated works as well. Also, you can place something underneath your legs if you need the extra support. All right, so once you find your place here on the earth, taking deep inhales in through the nose and long, slow exhales out. Noticing any thoughts that come into your mind. And no judgment, just notice what comes in. And on your exhales, allow them to go. So a quote to begin from Buddha. You can search throughout the entire universe for someone who is more deserving of your love and affection than you are yourself. And that person is not to be found anywhere. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. So I invite you here to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your diaphragm. The hand on your heart is on this all loving, forgiving heart. And the one on your diaphragm is on your belly brain. You have a brain there. The well of knowing and sensing. And start to breathe into your hands. Let your breath and touch be a conduit to a greater awareness within. And now dive deeper under the skin and feel inside. Under your hands is the pulse of life, a place that is untouched and perfect. your North Star. Your heart, your bright leading light, is the part that signed up for this journey. Your worth is not dependent on how you look or what you do or how much you earn. Your worth is sealed in the vault of your heart. Take heart in knowing your uniqueness and the gifts you bring to this world are of utmost value. Today, as you move through our practice, may you find appreciation and may you remember your worthiness. So let's take a couple of more rounds of breath here. And whenever you're ready, making some small movements in your fingers and toes. Perhaps rolling around wrists and ankles. And then rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. And then making your way up to seated. So any comfortable seated position for you. Could be easy seated pose, Sukhasana, which is crisscross applesauce. Okay, or anything else that feels right for you to begin. And we're just going to start with some seated cat-cow. So hands come to your legs or your knees, rounding your spine, tucking your chin, tucking your tailbone, and then moving in the opposite direction. So heart reaches up towards the sky, shoulders roll back and down the spine. And let's continue moving here with the breath. Where does it feel more comfortable to inhale? And where does it feel more comfortable to exhale? So one more time in each direction. Then coming back to center. We'll bring the arms out to the sides, palms face up, shoulders soften down the back. Inhale, arms reach up towards the sky. And exhale, arms come down by your side. So we're just going to move the arms a few times here. Inhale to reach and exhale to lower. As you reach your arms up towards the sky, allow the crown of your head to reach high. Find length here in your spine. One more time. All right, so this time let's bring the arms up towards the sky. And then we'll bring the hands down to heart center. Anjali Mudra. Clasping the hands, sending the palms out in front, round the spine. Reach the arms away. Inhale, let's bring the arms up towards the sky. Maybe you keep the clasp in your hands, soften the shoulders. And exhale, arms come over towards one side. Inhaling to center. And exhaling over to the other side. Feel length here along the side body. Inhaling to center. And exhale, releasing the hands down by your side. Okay, so our butterfly pose was pulled today. So we'll bring our feet together, knees apart, kind of like we did when we were lying on the earth. The soles of the feet kiss each other. All right, find your sit bones, that comfortable place to sit. Okay, and then we're gonna find a little bit of movement here. So we'll bring the right hand down towards the earth. Feel free to grab a block if it feels like it's far away from you. Left arm reaches up and over, find length along the left side. Inhaling to center and exhaling over to the other side. You can do that one more time and in each direction. Sorry, inhale to center, exhaling over. Inhale to center, exhaling over. Inhale, coming back to center. We'll bring our hands to our legs if that's comfortable, just trying not to pull on the toes. Activating the feet, so slightly curling back the toes, find length in your spine, and then hinge forward gently from the hips. See if you can keep a flat back to begin. And if you have any kind of low back issues, try not to round the spine at all. So our butterfly, oh dear, transformation. I welcome the cycles of life and embrace my transformation. One more round of breath here. And slowly making your way back up. And one more time, bringing one hand to your diaphragm, one hand to your heart. Maybe you close or lower your eyes. And connect once again. Connecting to your worthiness. Connecting to the beauty that is inside of you. And then gently releasing your hands. And we're going to make our way into a tabletop pose. So wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Gripping the fingers into the earth and slightly cupping the hands. Okay, so excuse me. Let's find some C shapes here. So allowing your hips to come over towards the left side, looking over your left shoulder towards the hips. Inhaling, coming back to center, and exhaling, coming over to the other side. And just moving back and forth here, excuse me, again, with your own breath at your own pace. So one more time in each direction. And then I invite you to find your variation of a child's pose. So it could be toes together, knees apart, maybe knees stay together. Maybe the arms are long, or you stack fists underneath the forehead. Perhaps the hands come back by the feet, palms face up. And melting the heart down towards the earth. We come into child's pose often, and I saw that there's a card for child's pose. It's a swan. The word is grace. I rest in grace and surrender. I trust and have faith in the process. One more round of breath here. Then making your way back into your tabletop pose. Slightly shifting forward, tuck the elbows and gently lower down towards the earth. We'll find a baby cobra, reaching the feet long back behind you, tops of the feet come down to the earth. Looking down at the earth and gently lifting your heart. Tuck the elbows, shoulders roll away from the ears. Taking deep inhales and long, slow exhales. One more round of breath. And exhale to lower. And coming back into your tabletop pose. And we're going to make our way into a puppy. So arms come out long in front, melting the heart down towards the earth, hips stay over top of the knees. So maybe the forehead makes its way down. Maybe you find a block or blanket to place under the forehead. Or for a little bit more, maybe the chin comes to the earth rather than the forehead. Melting the heart down. And then gently making your way back into your tabletop pose. From our tabletop, let's bring the right foot forward. I almost called it a hand. Right foot forward, knees over the ankle in line with the second or third toe. Okay, so we kind of practiced this. We may have practiced it last week. We did earlier this week. So we want to activate the front foot, find the four corners of the feet. Okay, so push them into the earth. Feel the inner arch of your right foot lift. Top of the left foot pushes down to the earth if your toes are uncurled. Okay, we continue pushing down, rooting down, reach the arms up high, soften the shoulders. Squeeze the inner thighs towards center. So our very active low lunge here. One more round of breath. And then exhale, lowering the hands to the earth. We'll come back into our tabletop pose. And then we'll find that low lunge on the other side. Left foot forward. Finding the four corners of the left foot. Activating the foot. Knees over the ankle. Top of the right foot pushes down. Squeeze the inner thighs and lift. Softening the shoulders down. Send the heart forward. All right, so from here, we're going to make our way up to standing. Hands windmill down to the earth. Right foot comes forward to meet the left into a forward fold. So let's start with a deep bend in this forward fold. Sorry, deep bend in the knees. Lots of places can bend, not just the knees. Maybe you allow the arms to dangle. What feels right for you? Maybe it's grabbing hold of opposite elbows, maybe hands clasped behind the low back. Find your forward fold here. Release any tension you feel in your neck. Maybe you shake out the head. Allow the head to hang heavy. Upper body hangs heavy. All right, let's come into a halfway lift. Hands come to shins or thighs, flat back. Draw the belly button in. So imagine a string pulling it up towards the sky. Crown of the head reaches forward. I like to do this because otherwise I get lightheaded coming all the way up. Hands come to your waist, spine, lengthen your spine again and come on up with a flat back. We'll find mountain pose at the top of the mat, so feet are hip distance apart, softening the shoulders back and down the spine. Find the four corners of the feet, right? We activate the feet, the inner arches lift, squeeze the inner thighs, softening the shoulders down. Again, crown reaches high, so find length in the spine. Inhale, reaching the arms up into extended mountain, softening the shoulders. Exhale with a flat back, bend in the knees, swan diving down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands come to shins or thighs, flat back. And exhale to fold. We're going to find a warrior one here. Right foot steps back behind you. Toes point up towards the top right corner of the mat. Nice wide stance. Find the four corners of both feet. Squeeze the inner thighs to rise. Shoulders soften. Front knees over the ankle in line with the second or third toe. And then we, as much as it feels comfortable doing so, squaring the hips towards the front of the mat. Okay, let's find cactus arms here. Send the tailbone down to the earth. And maybe if it feels good, allow the heart to reach up towards the sky with that string, pulling it up. Gentle back bend. Inhale, let's reach the arms back up. Exhale, hands come down to the earth. We're gonna step back into a plank pose. So find your plank that feels good for you. Could be on your toes, could be on your knees. Draw the belly button in and push the earth away from you. Activate the fingers. Purpose, plank, beaver. Today, all my activities have purpose and are meaningful to create balance. One more round of breath. And then shift your weight forward. Knees to the earth, tuck the elbows and lower. We'll find a baby cobra here. Once again, tuck the elbows by your sides, tops of the feet to the earth, lift the heart. And exhale to lower. Finding your way into your tabletop pose. We're going to step the right foot forward into a runner's lunge here. And then left foot forward into forward fold. On your next inhale, arms come out to the side with a flat back, reverse swan dive up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center. Before we come to the other side again, taking a moment to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your diaphragm. I'm realizing I'm kind of getting cut out here. All right. Connecting once again. Allowing your hands to come by your sides. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Left foot takes a big step back, coming into warrior one on this side. Squeeze the inner thighs to rise. Softening the shoulders. Perhaps you find cactus arms here. Send the tailbone down to the earth and open the heart up towards the sky. That shining light from the heart. Inhale, reaching the arms back up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step back to your plank pose. Push the earth away. Draw the belly button in. Shifting the weight forward, drop the knees, tuck the elbows and lower. All right, so maybe it's baby cobra or Sphinx pose. Our Sphinx pose, forearms to the earth, elbows under the shoulders. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. We still push the earth away from us, except into the arms, tops of the feet to the earth. And exhale to lower. We're going to make our way into a tabletop pose. This time, our lunge on the other side, left foot steps forward. Right foot follows, coming into a forward fold. On your next inhale, arms come out to the side, reverse swan dive up, extended mountain. And exhale, hands to heart center. All right, inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to fold. This time, let's take a big step back here with the left foot to begin. And we're going to come into warrior two. So our left foot comes parallel to the back of the mat. Front heel intersects with the middle of the back foot. We windmill the arms up. And try to square the hips towards the long edge of the mat. Front knees over the ankle in line with the second or third toe. All right, and then we take a quick peek over both hands, see if they're coming out, arms are coming out straight from the shoulders, soften the shoulders down. And find a focus point over the front hand. So our warrior two, our animal here was a camel. Adventure. I am ready for adventure. I see the future, remain in the present, and release the past. All right, let's find a reverse warrior. Back hand comes down, front palm turns up. Reach that arm up, right arm up and over, find length along the right side body. Inhale, bringing the arms back to warrior two. Exhale, side angle, right forearm comes to the right thigh, left arm maybe reaches up towards the sky or towards the front of the mat. Palm faces down, trying not to collapse in on the right arm. We'll find a couple rounds of breath here. All right, let's windmill the arms back up into warrior two. And then we're going to turn the feet so that the feet are parallel to the short edges of the mat. Hands come to the hips. Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale, hinging forward from the waist or the hips. Why do I say waist? From the hips, so flat back. Hands come wherever is comfortable for you. Could be shins, thighs, blocks the earth. Melting the heart down, releasing any tension you feel in the neck. One more round of breath here. And then bringing your hands to your hips, lengthen the spine, come on up with a flat back. We're going to find a goddess pose. Toes point out towards the corners of the mat. Sitting the hips down, send the knees back over the ankles. You may have to readjust your feet here. Finding cactus arms. So notice sometimes for some of us, we tend to sit down and send the hips back in goddess pose, kind of like we would in a chair pose. But in our goddess, we want to send the tailbone down towards the earth so that we're not tipping the hips back. Okay. Beautiful. One more round of breath here. And then pushing your feet into the earth, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, star pose. We're going to turn ourselves towards the front of the mat into that warrior two once again. Back foot parallel to the back of the mat, right foot turns forward. Okay, windmilling the hands down to frame the front foot. Step back into your plank pose. Dropping the knees to the earth. And this time we'll come back into child's pose. So any variation that feels good for you. Child's pose, grace. Again, I rest in grace and surrender. I trust and have faith in the process. All right, making your way back into your tabletop pose. This time, let's step the right foot forward. Left foot follows, forward fold. And on your next inhale, reverse swan dive up into extended mountain. And exhale, hands come to heart center. Okay, hand to heart, hand to diaphragm. Lowering or closing your eyes. Connecting once again. Okay, releasing the hands down by your sides. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Right foot takes a big step back, coming into warrior two on this side. So right foot's parallel to the back of the mat. So sometimes we need to adjust the stance depending on our bodies. Our aim is to square the hips towards the long edge of the mat. So some traditions are a little bit different. Some of them, our foot's more like warrior one. And then we square our hips kind of to an angle. I would invite you to find what's most comfortable for you. Personally, I find this one is more comfortable, where we're squaring the hips towards the long edge of the mat and foot parallel to the back of the mat. We're all different. So soften the arms down, the shoulders, bending into the front knee, finding a place to focus on that's in front of you. One more round of breath. And then right hand comes down, left palm faces up, reaching up and over with the left arm still bending into that front knee. Inhale, arms come back to our warrior two, our adventure pose, or camel was the animal going on an adventure. And then left forearm to the thigh, right arm reaches up, maybe over, side angle. Again, trying not to collapse in on the left arm. Reach with the right arm, find length from the fingertips all the way to the pinky toe side of the right foot. Good, ready? Inhale, windmill the arms back up into your warrior two. And then we're going to turn the feet once again parallel to the short edges of the mat. Okay, we're going to come just halfway down. So hinging forward from the hip, see if you can bring your torso so it's about parallel to the earth. Crown of the head reaches forward, draw the belly button in. So we're going to hold ourselves up here with our core. So the front and the back muscles here. Reaching the arms out towards the sides in a T shape. Crown of the head reaches forward. One more round of breath. And we bring the hands to the hips, lengthen the spine, come on up with a flat back. And goddess pose one more time. Toes point out towards the top corners of the mat. Sitting the hips down, knees come over the ankles in line with the second or third toe if you can. Woo, finding cactus arms. All right, so you can stay here if you wish. But at some point you need a break, you can come into star and then come back down into your goddess pose. Or little movement here, kind of like our side angle. So we'll place the right forearm onto the right thigh, left arm reaches up and over. And then inhaling back to goddess and exhaling over to the other side. So take whichever variation feels good for you. Maybe you keep moving, inhaling to goddess or to center, exhaling over. I'm going to go one more time in each direction. Goodness. All right, back to our goddess pose. And push the feet into the earth, lift the arms, star pose. Warrior two towards the front of the mat. Windmilling the hands down to frame the front foot. We're going to come back into our plank pose, purpose. Drop the knees to the earth. Find child's pose. Once again, grace. Drop into your body. Connect to your breath. And remind yourself of the practice of self-love. Gently making your way back into your tabletop pose. Okay, and then coming into seated. So if you want, crossing at the ankles and coming back, or maybe you swing your legs around. Okay, so from our seated pose, guess where we're going? We're going into our boat pose. So feet are on the earth, sitting up nice and tall. Hands come back behind you to support you. Okay, so drawing that belly button in. Maybe imagine a string pulling from behind you. Okay, and then you go just as far as it feels good for you in your body. So maybe it's just one foot comes up off the earth, activate the foot. Maybe both feet squeeze the inner thighs. Maybe one arm or two sitting up nice and tall. Our boat pose was also a fox. Observation. In stillness, my observations provide the answers my heart seeks. Observation. Let's find 2 more rounds of breath here. And then slowly lowering the feet back down to the earth. And we're going to slowly come down onto our backs. Nice and slow. Take your time. Use your core. All right, let's hug the knees in towards the chest. Maybe rock from side to side. We are going to come back up. We're just here for a couple poses. Okay, happy baby. Feet come up towards the sky. Feet are active. Knees come out to the sides of the body, grabbing a hold of wherever's comfortable. Backs of the thighs, lower legs, or the feet. Maybe you rock from side to side. Or maybe you play in this, extend one leg and then the other. All right, one more round of breath. And then it's up to you. You can rock and roll up to seated or roll over to one side to come up to seated. And then we're going to cross at the ankles, come forward back into our tabletop pose. Okay. From our tabletop, we're going to bring the knees out wide. Okay, so it's going to be a frog pose, and you're going to decide how far you wish to go in this pose. Sometimes blankets under the knees are a little bit more comfortable for this. So in our frog pose, if it's comfortable for you, bringing the ankle in line with the knee. If not, toes can come towards each other. Okay. So you're going to go as far apart here with the knees as it feels comfortable. Use your hands to support you so you're not coming all the way down. So maybe you stay here. Or maybe you start to make your way down onto your forearms. Only go as far as it feels good. You're going to feel stretch on the inner thighs, likely. If it feels like too much, you're just on the edge where it's a little bit too much, maybe you walk the arms forward a little bit, take a little bit of weight off the inner thighs. Frog cleanse. I cleanse my energy and recognize when I need self-care. We're going to take a couple more rounds of breath. And while we're here, let's notice where the mind is going. We can breathe through discomfort, slight discomfort, but not through pain, right? Come out if you feel pain. All right, if you're on your forearms, very slowly making your way back onto your hands. And we're very slowly going to come back into our tabletop pose. Okay. Ready? We're going to cross the ankles. If it's comfortable, come back to seated, however you need to get to seated. All right, Kelsey, when you came in, I drew a card for you. Your card is a hummingbird. Your word is joy. Your pose is a twist. The affirmation, I feel joy in the present moment. Okay, so our twist here, we're going to bring the left leg out long, hugging the right knee in towards the chest, finding your sit bones. And as always, go as far as it feels good for you. So perhaps the right leg crosses over the left foot to the earth. If you're able to keep both sits bones on the earth and all four corners of the right foot on the earth, and if it's comfortable, maybe you tuck the left leg under. All right, find length here in your spine. And we're going to turn towards the right. So left hand comes to that front leg, right hand comes behind you. We're going to turn in 4 parts. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, turning from the waist. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, turning from the low rib cage. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turning from the shoulders. Maybe you need to find a different variation for that front arm to help you twist. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turning the head. Joy. I feel joy in the present moment. Let's find one more round of breath. And then inhale to lengthen your spine and exhale to come back to center. We'll do an opposite twist just for a few seconds here. So bringing the left hand back behind you, maybe the right hand comes to the right knee or elbow, just gently twisting to the other side. Couple rounds of breath, just go as far as it feels good. And then coming back to center. We will uncross the legs and find the other side. Right leg comes long, left foot comes in, find your sit bones. Perhaps the left leg crosses over the right. Perhaps the right leg tucks underneath. Each side's a little different and each day is a little different. Yeah. Honor your body where it is today. Okay, right hand to left knee, left hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turning from the waist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turning from the low ribs. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, turning from the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turning the head. So find the variation in your arm that feels good for you. Could be arm wraps around that front knee. Or if it's in your body, maybe the outside of the right elbow comes to the outside of the right thigh. Continue to find length in your spine as you turn. On your next inhale, lengthening your spine. And exhale, coming back to center. And then finding that opposite twist. Just nice and gentle here. Coming back to center and releasing the legs. Maybe give them a bit of a shake. We're going to come back into our butterfly pose. The soles of the feet together, knees apart, finding your sit bones. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to hinge forward from the hips. If it's in your body, if it's comfortable for your low back, maybe you round your spine, soften your head. Release any tension you feel in your neck. Allow the heart to melt down. Your worth is not dependent on how you look or what you do or how much you earn. Your worth is sealed in the vault of your heart. Take heart in knowing your uniqueness and your gifts you bring to this world are of utmost value. One more round of breath. And slowly making your way back up. We're going to make our way into a tabletop. Find any movements that your body is asking for here. It could be cat, cow, figure eight, anything. All right, so one more twist here. Thread the needle. We'll start by bringing the right arm up towards the sky. Scooping the right arm underneath the body, reach the hand as far as it feels comfortable to go, and then come on down onto that right arm, onto the right side of the head. Where does it feel comfortable for you to be in this pose? Maybe the left hand walks forward. Maybe the left leg comes out to the side. Perhaps you reach the left hand back behind you. And allow this to be an opportunity to melt down towards the earth. When you're ready, bringing the left hand back under the left shoulder, left knee to the earth. If it isn't already there, pushing into the left hand to unravel. Right hand reaches back up towards the sky. And then we place the right hand to the earth. Other side, left arm comes up towards the sky, scooping the left arm under, send it through as far as it feels comfortable, and then come on down. Find the variation that feels good for you on this side. Listen to your body. Sometimes you hear yoga teachers say, Dave, do the same thing you did on the other side. But you know what? If you have an injury that you are taking care of on this side, then take care of it, or either side. Softening into the earth. Taking deep inhales and long, slow exhales. Bringing the right hand underneath your right shoulder, right knee to the earth. Pushing into the hand to release, allowing the left hand to reach back up towards the sky. Left hand comes to the earth. And then making your way back over into seated and onto your back body. Okay, on your back body, is there something that your body is asking for? We have about a minute. So maybe it's another twist, maybe it's movement, could be a bridge. That's what your body's asking for. Or maybe you'll return to that reclined bounding or reclined butterfly. So take your time here, but once you feel like whatever your movement is or whatever you are doing, if you needed a drink or whatever it may be, once it's complete for you, find a final resting pose on the earth. You can be laying down in any position. If you prefer seated, if that's what makes you comfortable, come to seated. Could even be legs up the wall. Yay, legs up the wall. I like to see everybody doing something different because then I know they're paying attention to their body. As you make your way into your final resting shape, I'll read over these cards a couple more times, or one more time. Warrior 2, Camel, Adventure. I am ready for adventure. I see the future, remain in the present, and release the past. Purpose. Today, all my activities have purpose and are meaningful to create balance. Transformation. I welcome the cycles of life and embrace my transformation. Grace. I rest in grace and surrender. I trust and have faith in the process. Joy. I feel the joy in the present moment. Cleanse. I cleanse my energy and recognize when I need self-care. And last, observation. In stillness, my observations provide the answers my heart seeks. Taking deep inhales in through the nose and long, slow exhales out. See if your exhales can be longer than your inhales. Softening your body down towards the earth. Releasing tension in the forehead, in the jaw, the shoulders, and the hips. And it's up to you if you wish, bringing one hand to your heart, one hand to your diaphragm. Feel the rise and fall of your breath beneath your hands. Under your hands is the pulse of life, a place that is untouched and perfect. Sometimes we are so intent on improving ourselves that we forget to take time out to be okay with who and where we are in life. We continually strive to push forwards, and may become depleted in the impossible search to be good enough. When we are too busy trying to alter our external landscapes, we can easily forget that yoga is the process of uncovering our internal goodness, and it is a journey towards wholeness. It is about loving all parts of ourselves. If we push away or try to reject the parts of us that feel like dislike, shame, or failure, we separate from our wholeness. The first place to start with self-love is to remember your worthiness. Today, as you move through your day, may you find appreciation and may you remember your worthiness. So for the next few minutes, there is absolutely nothing you need to do. Take this opportunity to rest here. Just breathe. Just be. If your mind starts to wander, no judgment. Remember, it's completely normal. And just come back. If it's difficult to just be, maybe finding something to focus on to bring your awareness back when it starts to wander. Maybe it's the feeling of your hands on your skin if your hands are still on you. Maybe it's a part of your breath that you notice the most. Your mind may wander once or 100 times, but the point of the practice is to notice and to come back. Let's start to bring our awareness back into the space that we are in, noticing the sensation of the earth beneath you, the air on your skin. Maybe there are sounds close to you, sounds further away. If your eyes are still closed, maybe you see light behind the eyelids. And then making some small movements in fingers and toes. Allowing your small movements to become bigger movements. Perhaps taking a moment here to find gratitude, thanking yourself for carving out this time to take care of your body, your mind, and your heart. Whenever you are ready, rolling over to one side and then gently making your way up to seated. Once you get to seated, lowering or closing your eyes. Maybe once again, bringing one hand to the diaphragm and one hand to the heart, lowering or closing your eyes. Feeling that light beneath the hands, the light of your being, the light of who you are. You are worthy, you are enough, and you are beautiful. Thank you for joining me today. Have a beautiful weekend.